Day 20 of my daily vlog challenge. Everything starts from a spark of interest. Something broke through our walls and caught our attention. It made us think to ourselves, I think I'd enjoy that.
Being interested in something doesn't necessarily mean that it's a passion. I feel like whenever we're interested in anything, that can have the ability to turn into a passion. But interests are things that we explore all the time. And then when we like that interest to a point where we feel really good doing that thing, then that transforms from an interest into being a passion. You see how I love journaling, and it's like almost every day that I actually do journal, unless I'm like really busy and the day gets away from me where I don't actually take the time and do it. But for the most part, I journal every single day. And that was once an interest of mine where it's like, what would happen if I actually tried doing this and if I explored more of this? And eventually I realized that when I journal, it makes me feel really good, and it gets all the jumbled up thoughts out of my head and actually onto paper where I can decipher everything that's going on in my head and then make some sense out of it. And that eventually turned from an interest to a passion, where it's like if I go 3 or 4 days without journaling, it kind of feels really weird. And me starting this challenge, this daily vlog challenge, is also an interest. Well, it was an interest. Let me correct myself. It was an interest because it was something that I always wanted to do, something that I've been telling myself to do for years, but I never saw that I had something to say or I wanted to say something. You know, it's like I went through a period where I just was very silent, and those words came out in my journal and it stayed with me instead of actually being shared with everyone around me, especially like close people to me. So me not starting that challenge, or me not starting my interest in creating the videos and everything, kind of delayed my passion for a bit. And when I decided to start by actually challenging myself to do it every single day so I can get better and so I can actually push myself to build my skill and build my knowledge of this as quickly as possible, doing it as simple as possible, it turned into a passion where it's like every day I look forward to speaking with you. And it's really something that changed my life. I have to say it's a life changer, because if I didn't explore that interest, I wouldn't have found something that I was passionate about. So see, they work hand in hand. It's like interest leads to passion. And the thing is, the whole thing of getting bored of eventually doing the same thing over and over, it's like there's so many different levels of this that I can do. The idea of becoming bored is kind of insane, because at the same time I have other interests that I want to follow, and those interests could eventually turn into passions. Now, if I look at it that way, where I'm like, hey, if I explore all of these passions, all of these interests, and they turn into passions, then I'll be living a life filled with things that I'm passionate about. And I can never get bored because I have all of these passionate things that I love to do. And then this one thing where I'm still interested in trying, because that's life. I'm always going to be interested in trying something new and exploring my options and expanding my knowledge, because that's the type of person that I am. So it's like I'm always gonna have other interests where I'm just like, hey, what happens if I skydive in Dubai one day? which probably is going to happen because I've done skydiving before and I actually love it. So it's something that I wanted to do again. So it's like, would I become passionate about that, or will that just keep being an interest? Maybe it'll be a passion. I don't know. These are other fun things that I want to try. So it's like, yeah, I love filming every day because it's something that I normally did without adding any words or anything, any other meaning to it. Is I would just capture the moment and let it be that moment. But now that I'm putting everything together, it has become so much more. So it became more of a passion where it's just like, hey, this is my chance to transform this into another piece of me. I started to pay more attention to the things that I enjoyed doing, the things that if I was given a choice, what I would choose to do, and the things that I would actually do when I was bored. Those were the indications of things that turned into my passion. And when I started exploring those things a lot more, it's like I knew I enjoyed doing them. So making the decision to actually choose to do those things came as nothing. It's like, it was like a no-brainer. Like, yeah, of course I'm going to write in my journal today because, you know, it's something that I do every single day. Or of course I'm going to take this picture of this random thing that I'm walking by, or take a quick video of it because that's the thing that was natural to me. So it's like finding my passion. The way I really had to do that was pay attention to what I already enjoyed doing. And when I realized that I enjoyed doing a lot of things, it was like, okay, so how do I narrow this down and kind of like choose one thing out of this vast amount of things that I'm actually interested in? And, you know, most of the time it's just like, I don't have to choose. It's just like one moment I can do this and enjoy doing that and just be in that moment and enjoy that because that's what my brain needs at that time. That's what my body needs at that time. So it's like the next time I may not want to do that. The next time I may want to be very productive and actually sit and edit a video and watch it grow from the concept in my head and something that you will sit and enjoy. And me too, because I do rewatch the videos like a million times before they come out and after they come out. But it's like finding my passion, I really had to focus on myself. And if I'm not focusing on what I enjoy doing, then I don't think I would have found that I really enjoyed a lot of things that I really do. So it's like, most people think that, oh, if you're passionate about something, then it has to be that one thing and it can't be anything else. And it's just like, that'd be a very boring life. Because look at everything in this world. There's not just one thing. And yes, there are different levels to things. But if you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and there's like no variation from it and nowhere to grow from it, and it's just like the same monotonous thing, it becomes very boring and you're probably going to drive yourself mad. So it's like you have to enjoy and be open to trying other things, because if you don't, you're kind of going to turn yourself into a mad person, right? I think we're taught that we're not supposed to try different things because it makes it seem like we're not consistent and we don't know what we want. And I feel like that is a load of crap, because if you don't try a lot of different things, how will you know what you like and what you don't like? And the thing is, with people, right, what I realize is that if you try something and you like it, and I try something and I don't like it, you can take that thing, incorporate it into your life, and actually turn that thing and make it so much more enjoyable for you. And I might go a different direction and take a little piece of that thing that you like and turn it into something that, okay, I can deal with this part. we both take the same thing and turn it into something different because we're different people and we are interested in a lot of different things. And some things that might spark your interest might not spark mine. And at the same time, what you do with that thing that you like that I didn't initially like, maybe I'll like it after you do what you do with it. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, I never thought about it that way. That's actually clever. And then I can incorporate the way you do it into my way. But it's like, it's still going to be my way because it's like, I'm going to do it differently because the way I understand it is from my perspective. Get it? I think the great part about all of this is that what you're interested in can potentially become a passion for you. And I've seen it happen so many times. Like snowboarding, right? I was always interested in doing it. And the first time I tried it, man, that mountain whooped my ass. Like, I thought I was fit. The next day I woke up, I could not move. I was so sore. And I still remembered I had a great time on the mountain. I was just like, you know what? Even though I dropped more times than I actually did anything, I enjoyed myself. And I was still interested in it. So I went back the second time. And the second time, I was actually snowboarding like I was almost a pro. I was like, what? I can turn a corner and not bust my ass? Or go down and not face plant? Oh my God, this is so cool. So it's like that became a passion because I enjoyed the process of learning about it and then enjoying the feeling of doing it because it's just like, wow, me, this little Jamaican girl who don't really like snow, went on the mountain, tried snowboarding and loved it. And it's just like, I would have never, if you told little Jody living in Jamaica this, she would probably laugh at you and be like, ha, you're right, snow, not me. But I end up loving it. So it became a passion of mine where it's just like anything that is an interest can potentially become a passion. And we tend to overlook all the things that we're interested in and thinking, oh, you know, it's just an interest. I'm not really like pursuing it or anything. And it's just like, you don't have to pursue it to the point of making it into a career or make it into your full lifestyle. If you're interested in doing something, try it. Even if that becomes your little hobby where you're just like, oh, I'm just going to do this because this makes me happy and I don't care about what anybody else thinks about it. Even if everyone thinks that me drawing this still life over here, if that's what you're interested in. If me drawing this still life over here looks like complete crap because it's a bunch of sticks on a paper, I enjoy the process of it and I feel great doing it. I don't have to show anyone my things. So it's like, you don't have to pursue your passion into career. Let them be what they are. Let them be your passions and have them as hobbies. And I feel like we don't have hobbies that much anymore because this phone ends up taking so much of our time. Like, it becomes such a distraction that we lose so many hours. We don't even give ourselves enough time to be bored. Like the other day, I wasn't doing anything much and I was just pacing back and forth. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, I'm bored. I was like, oh my God, did I just say, I'm bored? Wow, it was the happiest feeling I ever felt because I'm just like, I have not been bored in so long. I felt so whole in that moment. I was just like, if people could see me right now, they'd probably think I'd be weird as hell because why am I so excited about being bored? And it's just like, I've removed myself from so many of these distractions that this damn phone will do. And it's like, that gave me the opportunity to become bored. And in those bored moments, I'm like, oh, what can I do to make me not bored? Or what can I do to just enjoy this moment? And it's like in those moments, what my brain is telling me, hey, I think I'll go right. Or I think I'll just relax and just enjoy this moment. And it's just like, that becomes my passion. During my yoga class today, I heard a quote that the yoga instructor actually read. And because it was hot yoga, I didn't have the phone on me, which is great. But as soon as I got to the locker, I just like wrote down the quote and I'm like, oh my God, I have to remember this. So what she read was, you are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. And I looked it up to who the author of this quote was, and it said that Sophie Bush was the one that basically coined it, I guess. And it made me feel like we push so hard, and sometimes I do this so much. I push so hard for everything to be a masterpiece. And you know, everything is not a masterpiece because life is a work in progress. So some things that I've actually mastered, where it's just like, okay, I am good at this. I know what I'm doing. I don't have to second guess myself. I don't have to ask anybody or anything. I can actually instruct people on how I want this done. That is mastering something. And then there's other things where I'm just like, I have no clue what I want to do with this, what I need to do with this. I am going to need as much help as I possibly can. And those are the things that are work in progress. So it's like, we don't have to be perfect in everything because we are not perfect. We are working on everything. And even the things that we think we mastered, there's always room for improvement. So it's like, perfect does not exist. It really doesn't. And when we're looking for our passions, it's like we want the passion to be the thing that we are perfect at. And it's just like, no, it could be just something that you enjoy so much that you don't mind doing it day in and day out. And that's the thing. You don't have to do it day in and day out for it to remain your passion. You can do it maybe 2 or 3 times for the week, 2 or 3 times for the month if you want. It's still a passion once it becomes a passion of yours. It doesn't just like, you know, slips away. I mean, over time, things do change and things do evolve into being something else. Because take me taking pictures, for instance. It's like, I started taking pictures of just random things. And my first putting together of all these pictures and everything was a scrapbook, a regular exercise book, and I pasted all the pictures in there and I wrote something about it. That was my first story that was put together. And then that evolved into, and this was all film cameras, the little disposable cameras, which are great, by the way. You just develop the photos, and then that's how I would save the photos. And then after that, digital cameras came around. And then the phone became basically a camera. And then the pictures evolved into videos where it's just like, hey, a picture says 1,000 words, but what if I can actually make a whole video? Then how many words would that be? If I could show you what I'm talking about instead of actually just like typing it up or everything. So as technology evolved, so have my passion of capturing the moment, which is literally what me taking the pictures and writing my memory and everything down inside the book. It's like the passion is capturing the moment, because one day it's like, I would love to share these moments with you. And that is how that passion evolved. So it's like, it was never perfect to begin with, like ever, and it's still growing, and it's still gonna grow so much more. And it's like, the more I dig deeper and the more I enjoy the process of it, it's the more it just opens up and it's like, hey, come here, come here. We have so much more to tell, so much more to tell you. And it's just like, ooh, okay, what's this? What's this? What can I do with this? Yeah, let me know about that, because I think that is something that I would be very interested in. And there goes, another interest is sparked. And then once that becomes favorable to all of this, then it becomes a passion. I think there's a misconception when it comes to balancing all your passions and your ideas that you have. And again, society makes you feel like you have to perfect just one thing and you have to be interested in one thing. And it's like, okay, what if I'm interested in a whole lot of things? What do I do to pursue all of these passions? Do I just quit my job and, you know, go live in the woods somewhere where I can just like forage for my food and not worry about money and or light or anything, and just live and explore all my passions? Or what can I do to really balance everything? And it's like, you know what you like, you know what your schedule is, and you know that if you want to do something else has to make way for that. So it's like, if you want to start making soaps, right? Generic example. That's the first thing that came to my head. Don't ask me why. So if you want to make soaps and you know that you have no clue how to even start the process, then what are you going to do? You're going to quit your job and then go figure out how to make soaps? Or you're going to research during your free time and watch a couple of YouTube videos and scroll through some Pinterest blogs and everything in order to learn how to start the process, what you need to get, and what types of soap you actually want to make? You know, you don't just throw up everything in the air and be like, hey, well, that passion is, you know, it makes no sense I go down that road, because I mean, where's it gonna go? And it's just like, you don't need to monetize everything. And the crazy part about that is, once you truly enjoy something and you enjoy doing something, especially for yourself, if other people are exposed to that, they're probably gonna try to shove money at you in order for you to do that thing for them. So if this soap making thing turns out to be so good that all your friends are like, please make me a dozen because I don't want to ever run out of it, then guess what? They're gonna pay you for getting all of those ingredients and everything to make that soap. So now that passion becomes something that you're just like, oh, I can make money from this. Oh, this is cool. But you know, we have to talk about the other side of it, because when a lot of people start making money from the thing that they're passionate about, it's like they lose the passion for it, because it becomes something that is now a job and it's not a hobby anymore. And it's like, you're the one who make that decision. If you feel like you would rather keep something to yourself and just a few of your friends, then make that decision. Don't choose to do something that's going to overwhelm you. That's not going to do anybody any good, because that removes the love from it. And that's what makes it a passion, because you love and you enjoy doing that. So you're putting that energy into that. And that's what people are seeing. So when you feel like you're not going to be able to put that love and that energy into that, then don't do it for other people. Do it for yourself. Really. So I want you to do me a favor. The next time you find that your interest is piqued with something and you're so interested in doing it that it's always in the back of your head, like, hey, you should try this. Hey, you should try this. Hey, you should try this. I want you to try it. And I want you to feel it out to make sure that you actually like it. Because, you know, sometimes these things that you're interested in, you may try it and you may not like it. You may not like the process of it. And how would you know that if you didn't actually try it? It was an interest that didn't actually become a passion, but you tried it, and that's how you know it wasn't a passion. So the next time you feel like, hey, I feel like I would really enjoy this, or I feel like I want to try this to see how it would make me feel, do it. The only person stopping you from actually trying to do it is you. So go ahead and try everything that you're interested in. You don't know what's going to turn into a passion. So why limit yourself to just one thing?